Say you went about your import and you just don't like how it looks and it's a bit too stressful to just kind of, work on it and make it cleaner. You could just go right
import to the wrong course, because I've also done
that too. Really, there's many applications to this. What you're going to do is go into the course that you want to completely reset and go into Tools and then Course Admin, which is, if you don't see any tools in here that you need to use, Course Admin will have them. It has everything that you could possibly want for your course. It should be down in Course Reset, right there on the first category, or sorry, column if you're doing it by name, and then they have them by categories as well. You can click on Course Reset. It tells you like, hey, this course is active. Are you sure you want to do it? So if you are sure, you can just delete your course content and everything in there. You can delete group enrollments if you're that far into it, but if you're just putting content in there, I think that's about as far as you probably need to go. And then you can click Reset after reading the thing that says it cannot be undone. So then we have to type in the code just to make sure, and that code is this. So you could just copy it. And once you've copied your course code and you are sure you want to actually reset it, you just click delete and it starts resetting your course. And you can do anything else while you're waiting for it to be done, or you could just watch it and, get excited about looking at a blank course again. So once it's done, it tells you what happened and what day it was and that it's complete. So now if I go back to my course and I go back to my content, I had nothing in here to begin with, but if I went to content, then it should be completely cleansed. So you can start from scratch. Because in some cases, you might want to start from scratch and like use your Moodle things from your sandbox just as a supplement. And just kind of go from there if you want to rework it entirely. But if you're copying over from a sandbox, it's super easy as well. So you don't need to work from scratch. It's going to be in the same table of contents area that we were in before, but instead of clicking on import course package, we're going to click on copy existing course. And it's important that when you do this, you are in the destination course. So the place where you want the content to actually go. So we're going to click on copy existing course, and you're going to change nothing about this page. There are a couple options, but you're going to keep this little radio button on because org unit refers to course in Brightspace. So we want to copy from another course, and right here it says what course do we want to copy, so we have to click on the search for offering button to find the course. So we search for offering and it opens up a new window. I'm going to make it a little wider. And I usually just search by a key term, or if you want to search by semester, you could also do like 2021 SII if you want to do that. If you're doing it from a sandbox, sometimes it's just good enough to put sandbox and then all of your sandboxes will show up.
If it doesn't have sandbox in the title, if you put SB underscore, that's in every sandbox code no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So that will also bring up all of your sandboxes for sure.
Yes.
All of our sandboxes. There's so many sandboxes.
Yes. I'm highly bothered that this one does not have an apostrophe, but we're going to move past it rather quickly. Yeah. Those are the early days.
Yes.
All right.
I think Mike made his sandbox. That's probably why you did not make it.
Yeah. It's obvious I did not do this. So I put in SB underscore and click search, and I got everyone's sandboxes, but you will only get yours. So you will not get such a big result unless you're Aaron Sadlack and you have 11 sandboxes. You might get a lot. But you click on the radio button to the left of it, and it highlights the whole thing blue. And then you just click add selected, and it adds your course name right here so you know what course you're copying. So then you just click either select components if you want to pick and choose, or just copy all components. So kind of similar idea from the import. I'm going to copy, should I copy everything or should I select specific ones, do you think? I don't know.
Go with the select components so they can see it, because copy everything is
it's pretty self-explanatory. I also don't know what's in here, so this will be interesting. So when you click select components, you have a similar thing that we saw from the import when you wanted to select components from that. But this time we have a lot more categories. So we can select all anyway if we decide we want to, or we can click and choose which ones we actually want to keep. Now, I will say, when you are copying from another Brightspace course, make sure that, yes, you are clicking on content because that's probably most of what you want, but you should also be clicking on any of those specific tools like assignments or discussions or quizzes, because as we'll learn tomorrow, and as we're going to learn right now, apparently, when you bring over quizzes and discussions and assignments to the content tool, there's a link there, and those will come over with content when you click on that little category that I just did. But if you don't click on like discussions and assignments and quizzes as well, it's going to be a broken topic, and then it's not going to have anything associated with it. So you can always come back and do another copy and bring those things over, but I just wanted to let you know about that. It's not relevant here because I don't have any assignments in this course, but if I did, I would definitely do it. So I'm going to click attendance registers because I feel like doing that. External tool links because I have a lot of those, so they must be important. It's definitely how you should be doing your imports. My groups. Yeah, you could do whatever you would like.
And if you do the select individual items to copy, do that for your LTIs, Riley.
Yes, because there's a lot of them.
Yes. And hit continue, then it will take you to a page where you can choose which ones.
Oh, yeah. You can tell this is where I tested all the bongo stuff.
Yes.
So you can click and choose, and hopefully you have better named things than I do because it's impossible to know what any of these are. So I am going to check a bunch of them, but not all of them. And if I did want to select them all, there is a button for that. And if these were like in folders of sorts, I could expand them all or collapse them if I wanted to. But once I've selected the ones I want, I can click continue, and then we are back to our summary page of things we wanted to select. So I can modify them from here one last time before I actually copy it. And then we could also offset our dates again. So we could do that direction and range, or calculate the range between two dates if we wanted to. But once we're done, we click on finish, and it does a similar thing to the import, but it actually shows you like the copying in progress, and it'll give you a little green check mark when you're good to go. And there is a benefit to sort of working on your sandboxes if you have free time, which I'm not sure who really does anymore. But if you had free time, like working on your sandbox is only to your benefit, because then you can just copy it in already ready. So you wouldn't have to worry about it. But you can also copy it in as is and then just work on it in your course shell. So whatever you'd like to do. So our copy is complete. We can click on view content, and then we can see that my one module is here with a broken topic because I didn't select that bongo link that comes with it, I guess. So I made my own mistake. I warned you against it and I did it instead. So it's a good example of what happens when you don't bring over everything, and maybe you should have, but you can always copy it again, bring it over. Not a big deal. So are there any questions about that process at all? Or?
If you were copying it again, do you have to then do the whole process again where you're copying everything? Or can you just, like, let's say you picked a whole bunch of stuff that you did want, and then you realize, oh, I forgot this one. Can you repeat it with just the one, or would then that delete everything else?
Yeah, you could delete it with just the one. It adds to it instead of like resetting it entirely or overwriting it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you could just go back.
It never overrides the whole thing. It just keeps adding. So like we did have one person who imported stuff, and they were like, oh, something happened, and they just imported again. So they went from 15 topics to 30 topics because it doesn't overwrite. And they were like, now I'm panicked. So, but the nice thing is we have that course reset now. So just actually, Riley, if you go to the table of contents, context menu here, there's also delete all modules. So you can also do that too. That'll reset your content area. So like maybe you don't want to delete the actual assignments or the actual discussions, but you want to reorganize everything. Delete all modules does that. Unless you kind of like start off, because nothing actually nothing actually really lives on the content page. Aside from, like, if you post a video or a link, those will be on the content page. But assignments don't actually live on the content page. They live on the assignments page. Same with discussions and quizzes. So if you delete them from here, you'll always get this option. So that just removes it from content, but keeps it there. So like maybe you have an assignment that you were going to do and you don't want it to be like in your content list anymore. You can delete it, but the assignment will still be saved there. So that way you'd have it for like future sessions. Or if you choose to permanently delete, that gets rid of all of the things.
Yeah, like all of their associations and everything. So this would just put like your assignments back just in the assignment tool, and you could pull them to a different part of content if you want, or you could just go and hide them so that students don't see them, like Kat was saying. So you'll always get that option, even with like resources like files and things like that.